What is your manufacturing process for Dynamic Plus springs, and where are they manufactured? Our springs are manufactured. Uh, they're manufactured by an OEM spring manufacturer who also does springs for the U.S. military. So a very advanced spring manufacturing company. I've been there and toured their facility. Springs are created using a certain alloy of steel that's bent into shape. And then once it's bent into the shape using a huge machine that bends and creates coils, then the springs are run through a furnace and heat treated and then quenched to take the normal non-spring steel and temper it so that it becomes spring steel. You can't bend spring steel before you temper it. So this same process as for sway bars, is you basically take a mild steel, bend it into shape, and then you temper it and give it the spring effect. But by definition, springs don't bend, right? So if you tried to bend spring steel, it would just be really problematic. It'd probably break if you try to bend it too much. So
I guess they bend, they don't deform. I guess it's the difference there, right? They don't take a shape.
Yeah. I mean, they comply, but they bounce back. Yeah. When I think bend, I think
it's holding that
takes the shape. But yeah, you're right. It will change shape, but then bounce back.
Yeah.
By nature.
That's the idea.
Yeah. So we don't really talk a lot about where our products are made. We have products made all over the world. And we are expanding our spring manufacturing into another country as well, in the pursuit of higher quality, better tolerances. Not necessarily to save money; it's not cheaper, but yeah, it's not, the majority of our products are made in the U.S. We have products manufactured in Europe and the Far East. We choose manufacturing companies and suppliers to meet our stringent and high, quality standards and specifications. So for us, it doesn't really matter where something is made as much as how it's made and the resultant, quality and adherence to our specifications and standards. I think sometimes people like to attribute quality to where something is made, and this is a whole nother topic, but I would say there's very little correlation to where something is made and the quality of it is. Maybe in specific instances you could say that computer processors made in Vietnam aren't as good as ones made in Silicon Valley.
Right.
But just in general, especially with something like automotive products, there's a lot of shitty stuff made in the U.S. I hate to say it, and we strive hard to use U.S. suppliers as much and as often as we can. However, in many cases, we're not able to because either the prices are just astronomically too high, or the quality just isn't there. And it's shocking, but the bottom line is, if you're good at manufacturing in the U.S., you're going to be making for the medical industry, for aerospace, for the U.S. military. Those are pretty much the three areas, and maybe for high tech, if it's applicable. But you can make, you can. Do we have any parts? Like
I have those.
I should say this is a little metal part, and you could make this for 034 Motorsport for $3, or you could make it for the Department of Defense for $700, or you can make it for Google for $5,000. The same thing that we would pay $3 for, basically. So it just doesn't make sense to sell to automotive aftermarket if you can do aerospace or medical industry. And the cost of things in aerospace, medical industry, Department of Defense, it's orders of magnitude higher than what you could charge for a consumer product. So that's why most U.S. manufacturing gravitates towards those industries and high tech. I remember a quick little story. We used to do all of our CNC manufacturing here at this facility, but we could no longer produce enough product here to even meet 5% of our sales. So we've outsourced a lot of our machining. And but one of our customers worked at Google, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're shipping some server thing on this huge pallet, and we have these brackets drawn up to hold everything, hold it down, and we lost like 2 of them. Can you make us 2?" And they're just these big billet aluminum brackets. They're very simple parts. They're like triangular shaped with gussets and holes, for fasteners. And so I was like, "Yeah, sure, send us the drawing, we'll quote it out." And so he sends me the drawing, and I was going to quote him like $200 each, right? Because it was a piece of billet aluminum that was going to cost us like $10. A couple hours on the machine. I figured like $600 for both of them. That's plenty. But I called him and I was like, "Hey, just real quick, what have you been paying for these things?" And he was like, "Oh, like $2,000 each." I was just like, "Good news, we can do 1,000 each for a stupid bracket that at 034 Motorsport we wouldn't be able to sell for more than about $150. We had products that were way more complicated, advanced, and bigger than that we were selling for about $150. So and we bailed them out. We saved them $2,000. But that's just a little story. There was some machine shop here in Silicon Valley, making them $2,000 each for like hundreds of them, and we made 2 for less than that. So, and we made a killing, So that's just the state of affairs. Sorry for the little tangent on the U.S. manufacturing, but a lot of misconceptions out there about manufacturing and where things are made and stuff like that.